So Revenge is a really mysterious brand that people don't know a lot about. So I figured I'd throw together this video, kind of wrapping up everything that I know and was able to find out. So yeah, that's what it's going to be, and enjoy. From what I could find, the brand started in 2016, and if you go to Instagram, their first post was on May 27th, and it's even geotagged as start. But yeah, obviously there had to have been some planning before this, so the brand probably started, early 2016, maybe even later in 2015. The brand is based in Los Angeles, I believe, and it doesn't have an actual physical walk-in store where you can purchase things. It's all done online and then through pop-ups. The owner is Garrett, who's a 21-year-old, or said to be 21, I'm not sure, but he's around that age. And his birthday's on August 18th, if that has any importance. I don't know. Wish him a happy birthday next time around or something. So Garrett doesn't show his face, and that adds to, the mysteriousness of the brand. If he's at a pop-up or in a photo, he's always wearing a mask or else like a bandana or something to cover his face, to conceal his identity, which is very similar to Zach from FTP, if you guys know anything about FTP. So with how many orders are made, there's obviously more than just Garrett working at the brand. It's probably like a handful of guys, like maybe even 10 or so, that help him with shipping and everything. From time to time, you can catch Garrett doing a live stream, usually on his own Instagram, or else sometimes he does Twitch live streams. And on these, he'll preview items they're working on or upcoming drops. And he'll also field questions that anybody has or even suggestions. So I've been suggesting that they do a flannel for, I don't know, like a year. It's finally getting made, which I was super excited about. So keep an eye out for those. So the name Revenge is said to have come from Garrett getting revenge on the people who have done him wrong in the past. So it's not like a traditional revenge where he's seeking them out, but just the success of the brand is going to be the revenge itself. So sometime mid to late 2016 or possibly even early 2017, Garrett is going to meet XXXTentacion, and this is going to really help the brand out in gaining popularity. I'm not sure how they met, but it was probably through like DMs or something, One of them saw each other's work, thought they lined up really well, and reached out to the other person. So this relationship resulted in a lot of collaborations, and it brought us things like the Kill Hand hoodie. It also started to popularize their own style of hoodies, no drawstrings, the cropped, and it really helped the brand get their feet on the ground and start to make a name for themselves. On May 18th, X goes ahead and releases a song called Garrett's Revenge. Since then, the title has been changed to just Revenge. I'm not sure if that happened around the time of their falling out, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but that's also important to note. And the artwork for that single was actually Garrett's alleged suicide note, which he did write, I'm for sure, but I'm not sure if it was like actually a suicide note or what the complete story is behind that. So following the single, a album or mixtape also named Revenge dropped, and it used the Revenge Lightning logo, which is still in use today. So it wasn't only X that was rocking this brand. Basically, the whole members only crew rocked it. You got Wi-Fi's Funeral, Kid Trunk's wearing it, Ski Mask Slump God wearing it, like SoundCloud rappers, you got Famous Dex rocking it. You even got established rappers, especially for that time period, like Offset wearing it on stage. I also think it's important to note that some claims have been made that Ski Mask supposedly owns part of Revenge, which I'm not too sure about, but I figured I'd throw it in there. So in June of 2017, X slides into the DMs of an artist who made some fan art of him. Basically, X expresses how much he likes the image, and then not too long after that, we actually see Revenge release the hoodie with the graphic on it. The artist was really mad about it, because he never got compensated or anything like that. So he reached out to X to talk about it. He reached out to Garrett to talk about it. Nothing really. And he actually had this comment to say: "I was flattered but upset I didn't get any compensation for the work. Not a mention or simple payment. When I reached out to Revenge, they asked me, 'Why you tripping?' And when I reached out to X, he kindly asked, 'How would I like to be compensated?' But I was ghosted. I'm making this post solely to educate other freelance artists that this might happen to. Watermark your work. Fight for your work." So in there, he's expressing how disappointed he is, obviously, for not being compensated or mentioned or, credited for his work, which is obviously disappointing. He's the one who made the image. So this undoubtedly sparked a lot of controversy around the whole thing. This whole ordeal spread from June till August of 2017. So in October, Garrett made a post asking for a graphic to be made. if any designers out there could put it together for him. And this is when Steven comes in. Basically, he made the image, Garrett liked it, and he was asked to do 2 more images or graphics, and Garrett also liked both of those. And then after that, Steven was hired full-time, and he still works there. A little background about Steven: he is the graphic designer for Revenge, and he lives near Kansas City in a town called Lawrence. He's never actually met Garrett face-to-face, which is interesting. So he's never flown out to California for any of the pop-ups or to have a meeting or anything like that. The date that Steven got hired full-time on was October 26th. And this is interesting because on October 31st, or else November 1st, X comes out and makes a video saying that he no longer supports Revenge. So this is all speculation, but if you ask me, what I believed happened would be the whole controversy between X using the art and the guy not getting credited probably didn't help things out at all. So I feel like X and Revenge probably started to grow apart. So once it was realized that X was probably splitting, Garrett could have made this post. So then Steven comes in. X could have felt betrayed by getting replaced as one of the creatives, which could be why he made the video. But yeah, I'm not too sure about what happened. That's just my theory, which could be horrendously wrong. So moving on to 2018, when everything settles back down, collabs with Juice WRLD and Ski Mask, the Slump God, were made surrounding their albums Goodbye and Good Riddance, and then also Stokely, respectively. So it was in spring-summer 2018 when they swapped to their tees that were the boxy ones with the large neck openings, which have gotten a lot of criticism. During this time, they also expanded onto new silhouettes like denim jackets. They had the set of 100 blue denim with the white graphic on the back. Then they also had the set of 100 black denim with the red graphic on back. So on June 18th, X was murdered in Florida, and this actually led to a huge spike of interest in Revenge. If you go to Grailed, people were selling old X collaborations for crazy amounts of money. And at one point, Revenge was actually on the front page, trending streetwear. They were actually on the front page for that. Where they lasted for, I think, a month or 2 on there, and they're no longer up there. Also notable, on July 26th, Skrillex collabed with Revenge, or Revenge collabed with Skrillex, however you want to look at it, and they did a pop-up in Shibuya, Japan. So this leads us to 2019. So in the few months that have passed, the brand has already expanded onto even more new silhouettes, like the varsity jacket, bombers, which are supposed to be coming, and flannels and stuff. So, it really shows that the brand is starting to expand. They're doing well. And in recent live streams, Garrett has also confirmed that he has upcoming collaborations with Rogic, Ski Mask Slump God, and Juice WRLD. So the collab with Rogic is going to be pants, and then Ski Mask, probably an album, and then Juice WRLD, also probably an album. There are some possible employees that I couldn't find any information on, but it looks like they have strong ties to Revenge, such as Jason Klimko and Han Allen Chow. June 16th of 2019, Revenge got Wi-Fi's funeral for their lookbook, a drop consisting of some staple items like the bread crew neck as well as their very first flannel. August 25th, we saw the item I had been waiting for the longest, the bread arc logo flannel, which carried a $148 price tag. The price hike came as a counter because another piece in the drop, the pinstripe hoodie, was actually lowered after people started complaining about the price of it. Sonny Sulik of mid-90s fame joined Revenge for a lookbook on October 6th, a cool get but a lackluster drop in my opinion. November 10th, Revenge collaborated with Ski Mask the Slump God, resulting in a presumptuously accidental design flaw, the Rick Venge lightning logo, in which the first E of Revenge resembled more that of a C. Sometime around November or December, artist FUKCOYU joined the ranks, producing many of the painted style designs we now see. Sadly, on December 8th of 2019, rapper and friend of the brand Juice WRLD Gerard Higgins died of an accidental overdose at Midway International Airport in Chicago. This, especially after the passing of X a year prior, was devastating for Revenge. They'd done several collaborations together and really appeared to have some level of friendship. Revenge came back 2 weeks later with one of their best lookbook features yet, Chief Keef, for their December 22nd drop. Though Revenge usually just uses their guests for lookbooks, this also resulted in the Chief Keef mugshot tee. This drop saw a surge of interest, with fans of Chief Keef flocking to the brand in hopes of grabbing the aforementioned tee. Moving into 2020, the first noteworthy thing was Shoreline Mafia for the March 8th lookbook. The next day, March 9th, Garrett did his first official interview with Adam22 on No Jumper. As expected, the interview revolved mostly around the relationship between Garrett and XXXTentacion. Garrett also opened up about the deteriorating state of his mother in her battle against cancer. A couple weeks later, March 17th, Garrett accidentally leaked his face on Instagram Live. Though images of his face existed prior to this, it was the first widespread image that people got hold of. Also, out of respect, I will not be showing it. The following months saw a rise in scammers, most notably a Twitter scam and a fake website. Garrett and Adam22 even came out with a statement against the Twitter scammer since it got so bad with people believing it was actually Garrett. Through a source, Adam22 shared the name of the scammer, Bailey McBride, and the operation soon dissolved. The scam website came a little bit later and was less of an issue, using the domain Revenge Officials as opposed to the legitimate revengeofficial.com. Revenge relaunched their website in April, swapping from Squarespace or whatever they had before to Shopify. Over the past couple years, Revenge has definitely started shifting away from their more classic designs, pushing away a lot of people who have been here the longest. On top of that, they've started using famous TikTokers to promote their brand, focusing on a much different audience and once again pushing away even more old heads. I believe Lil Huddy or Chase Hudson was the first to show up on TikTok rocking the brand, with other platform leaders like Addison Rae and Charli D'Amelio to follow. Hudson and Addison were much more temporary, with the brand showing up only a handful of times to my knowledge. The target was mainly focused on Charli, with Revenge making regular cameos in her content. On May 10th, the brand got another huge guest for their lookbook, Young Thug. Following the initial drop, the two teamed together to release a handful of pieces, making use of a photo from the lookbook, which pretty much everyone agreed was a huge missed opportunity. After the drop, Garrett took time off to spend with his mother as her situation worsened and she sadly passed away in early July. Revenge in many ways had their first official collaboration, working with the brand Playboy to release a large collection on August 9th of 2020. In my eyes, this was another disappointing drop, as designs didn't really stand out from anything that had already existed, whether that be Supreme, Antisocial, or PacSun collaborations with Playboy. A 2-month break was said to have been taken to move warehouses, increase team size, and swap fulfillment and customer service providers. During this hiatus, allegations surfaced that Revenge was selling leftover items on Grailed at resale prices under the name Big Drip Resell. Though Garrett definitely has something to do with the Big Drip Resell scandal, he's more than likely not behind it, as it would just be a waste of his time. Shipping issues have also been plaguing the brand for some time, with some people never receiving their items, other people receiving the incorrect size, along with notes such as this one, stating they intentionally put the wrong size and included socks to make up for it. Coming over their 2-month break, we saw long-awaited items like the Mickey Cobain and embroidered denim drop on October 18th of 2020. Once again, the brand made false promises of improved shipping, this time being 5-day shipping, with many of the orders from this drop missing that deadline. This drop also saw a number of issues. It was the first drop to have the password leaked, with it being posted on social media almost 2 hours before the drop, resulting in low stock when the website officially opened. This drop also featured this misprint of the Mickey Cobain tee in the blue colorway. This is currently where the brand sits, and I think overall they're deteriorating as the fan base continues to grow, and it's also important to note the change in fan base that has been happening. With each drop that passes, it becomes more and more apparent that Revenge's idea of moving forward is just making every piece possible with an embroidered ARC logo on it. I will admit though, the October 18th drop did show promise, making a handful of nods to classic Revenge designs, but ultimately it left many in the community wanting something more. That's all I have for you guys. Feel free to subscribe for more Revenge content, and I'll see you in 2 years for another update.